Hi, my name is Natalie Parra, and I'm the counselor at the LA Harbor College Transfer Center. And today we present Demystifying UC Transfer, our workshop that is meant to tell you that you belong at a UC. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the workshop, whether you're joining us in person, on Instagram TV, or on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and we hope that it is very helpful for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So in today's agenda, we're going to be talking about why you need to see yourself at a UC. So we're going to discuss what is a UC campus, what UC campuses are there, campus spotlight to include UCLA, UC Transfer Admission Planner, also known as UC TAP, UC TAG, also known as UC Transfer Admission Guarantee, the Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan, Demystifying UC Majors, UC Transfer Timeline, preparing for UC at Harbor College, and Q&A at the end, and a Let's Connect. So for starters, what is a UC? UC stands for University of California, and these are public four-year universities offering BA and BS degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral degrees. They are research-oriented, education-focused, so that means that you'll be doing a lot of research, learning about research and how that works, working with instructors, professors on research. They offer 800-degree programs with an array of different options to choose from. There are also 9 undergraduate campuses, meaning that 9 of the campuses that are UC offer bachelor's degrees, and we're going to be discussing those campuses today. They are also extremely affordable. They accept FAFSA and DREAM Act. So for our students that are concerned about the cost, we're also going to debunk that and go over all of the different myths and shatter them so that way you know that these are not reasons to keep you away from UCs. So the UC campuses that offer undergraduate degrees, bachelor's degrees include UC Davis, UC Berkeley, UC Santa Cruz, and UC Merced. These are all in Northern California. Campuses in Southern California are UC Santa Barbara, UCLA, UC Riverside, UC Irvine, and UC San Diego. Now, in terms of proximity to LA Harbor College, which is right here, the closest campuses would be UCLA, UC Irvine, Riverside, and San Diego not too far away either. Santa Barbara up the Central Coast, but those would be the ones that are closer to us. The next thing we're going to discuss is a campus spotlight on UCLA. Since it is so close to LA Harbor College and we have an excellent relationship with them, UCLA is located in Westwood, Beverly Hills neighborhood, and we have a partnership with Harbor College. So they have partnered with us to provide transfer mentorship to Seahawks interested in transferring and are more likely to be admitted. So what that means is by participating in the UCLA Center for Community College Partnership with Harbor College students, you will be able to get a little advantage in helping you apply to UCLA and other UC campuses for that matter. They're very pro helping students transfer. And many of our Harbor College students have transferred to UCLA and been very successful in their education and their career. And that is all with having Harbor College as your start and being able to get to UCLA. So there have been many Harbor College students before you that have all had very similar feelings that you might be experiencing, and they were able to get through it. They were able to get into UCLA and other UCs for that matter and have been so successful thanks to their education. So we want to make sure that you know that there are a lot of students like you who have made it through, and so can you. So myth number 1 that I want to just discuss is that UCs are complicated to transfer to. And I hear this all the time. My students think UCs are harder and they're not easy to understand. But we're going to debunk that myth together. And that's actually false. So we're going to learn about the UC Transfer Admission Planner and how it can help make UC transfer easier for you. So the UC Transfer Admission Planner, think of it like a portal. And it's a portal that you make, and it is an online tool to help students who are interested in UCs track and plan their coursework. The UC TAP tool, it's called UC TAP for short, is designed for use by students transferring from a community college and includes students who are seeking a transfer admission guarantee with one of 6 participating UC campuses. We'll go into that later on. Students can use the Transfer Admission Planner to enter their coursework, completed and planned from the beginning of their college careers or at any point when they decide to transfer to a UC campus. So the sooner you start working on creating a TAP account and start loading in all of your classes from your transcripts, the better, because it'll save you time later. And the planner helps students track their progress toward meeting UC minimum requirements and allows UC staff to communicate important information to prospective transfer students. So what are the benefits of using the Transfer Admission Planner? What I like to tell my students is that it is the ultimate time saver because it allows you to input all of your classes to help you calculate your transfer GPA and to get an idea of what you can do to raise or maintain your GPA for UC TAG and admission to UCs. And when it's time to apply for TAG, it's done through the TAP portal. So completing TAP early will make your TAG application process much faster. And when it's time to apply to UCs, having a TAP account allows you to load your TAP info into the UC application and saves hours of your time. Another fun fact is that when you make a Transfer Admission Planner account, it asks you what UCs you're interested in transferring to. So you can select all of them. They actually encourage students to select all the UCs that you are interested in. You can pick all 9, and then all the UCs will start giving you updates and news, and they'll start reaching out to you about different opportunities to learn more about their campus. You can actually discuss and chat and even potentially meet with a UC representative to help you go over how your progress is going. They can tell you, oh no, like you really need that class, make sure you don't drop it, things like that. They are just wonderful and so supportive to our students. That's why we really encourage students to make a Transfer Admission Planner as early as their first semester at Harbor College. And it's never too late to make one. So if you don't have one yet, make sure that you get one. Now, myth 2 is that UCs are very hard to be admitted to, and only students with a high GPA, at least a 3.5, get in. I've heard this one quite often, and that's another one that I'm not okay with because that is absolutely false. Let me go back, sorry. False. So 6 UCs actually provide guaranteed admission, and we're going to now discuss UC TAG, also known as Transfer Admission Guarantee, and how you can get guaranteed admission to a UC. So what is UC Transfer Admission Guarantee, also known as UC TAG? So UC TAG is guaranteed admission to one UC campus. When you tag a UC campus, so long as you meet the guidelines of the agreement, you are guaranteed admission to the campus and major you input into your TAG application. So you have to do 2 applications. The first one is your TAG application, and the second being your UC admission application in order for your request to be reviewed and approved. Now, there are 6 campuses that participate in UC Transfer Admission Guarantee. They are listed here, so that includes UC Davis, UC Irvine, UC Merced, UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz, and UC Riverside. And the GPAs vary by campus, so as you can see, it's not really everybody has to have a 3.5 or higher to get guaranteed admission. As you can see, Davis is a 3.2 to 3.5 minimum GPA. UC Irvine, you need at least a 3.4. UC Merced, you can have between a 2.8 to 3.0 depending on the major. UC Santa Barbara needs a 3.4 minimum GPA. UC Santa Cruz needs a 3.0 minimum or higher. And UC Riverside needs between a 2.7 to a 3.0 depending on your major, once again. So as you can see, they do not expect perfection from students. In fact, they're actually extremely accommodating and welcoming to students with various GPAs, right? Now, if your major, for example, isn't eligible for TAG, or your GPA isn't quite high enough to tag a UC, that's okay too. You can still apply to the campus. But we absolutely, if you do have the minimum GPA, we do want you to tag because we don't want you to waste the opportunity to get guaranteed admission. Now, students will ask me, am I eligible for TAG? We want to make sure that at the time that you submit your TAG application, you have completed at least 30 UC transferable units. So by end of summer normally, because it's September 1st to 30th is when you tag UCs for fall. And then English and math is an important factor too. Each UC determines when students need to have English 101 and 102 done in order to be in line with TAG requirements, as well as transfer level math. So the UCs might say, one campus will say you need to have English 101 done by end of summer. Others will say you need English 101 done by end of fall. Others will say you need all the math for your major done by the end of fall in order to be eligible for TAG. Others will say you need to have math done by end of summer. It really just depends on the campus. So that's why you want to make sure that you see me for an appointment, or any counselor for that matter, and we can help you determine your tag eligibility. The next thing is university units. So some campuses allow students with university units to tag a UC while others do not. It depends on the campus. So for my students who have a combination of units from Harvard College and universities, it does happen, but students have been successful in tagging certain campuses. So we want to make sure that you meet with us so that way we can screen through your transcripts and see what would be the best fit for you. And then we have the wonderful UC tag matrix, and that is where students are able to go through and look at all the tag requirements, and it provides specific details. And then really quickly, I just want to show how to look at and review the UC tag matrix. We don't expect you after this demonstration to be able to do everything all by yourself. In fact, we want you to just use it as an idea of what the UCs are looking for, and then meet with the counselor so we can go over it together. So this is our UC tag matrix. You can actually Google UC tag matrix and it will appear as the first option on Google. But as you can see here, it is for students applying for admission. Now this is the 2021-2022 admission agreement, but we will be anticipating seeing the 2022-2023 agreement as well. So we want to make sure that we stay in contact so that way we can look at the updates. As you can see here, it says apply for admission during the November 1st through 30th, 2020 for fall 2021 admission. So that has passed, and that's how we know that this is last year's. We're going to be waiting to see the November 1st to 30th, 2021 for fall 2022 admission. So I hope that makes sense. So this just explains all of the tag rules in a nutshell for students. It says who can file a tag, students from community colleges in California, including international students. And it also gives a little bit more information about how many units you need. So there's 30 UC transferable units. If you're not sure if you have UC transferable units or not, that's why I recommend that you make a TAP account, because it will tell you after you put in all your classes how many UC transferable units you have, and a counselor can also help you count those. And then we're also, as you can see here, it says students with a bachelor's degree, graduate or professional degree, students previously enrolled in a UC campus, who plan to return to the same campus, and students who are dual enrolled in high school and community college cannot tag. But that's okay, because we have plenty of students that are still able to do so, and our students can still, there are other options if you lie in these categories. So to pursue a tag, you have to apply September 1st to 30th, and then it does indicate as you scroll down the requirements for each campus. So let's say we have a student who wants to apply to UCI for tag, right? It will show us here which majors are not eligible for tag. So if you're business, cognitive science, dance, music, nursing, or anything in information and computer sciences, you cannot tag a UC. Now let's say our major is business, so that's not good. And that's kind of discouraging, but we can look at other campuses that are okay with tagging business. So let's see here. We have Santa Cruz has 0 majors excluded for tag, so that could be an option if they do have business or something related to business. Santa Barbara, it says College of Engineering, dance BFA, music, theater BFA in the College of Letters and Sciences. So it doesn't say that econ and accountancy is excluded from tag. That would be a related major for Santa Barbara, so that could be an option for you. Riverside, business administration is not excluded, so you know that could be an option, right? So this helps our students see what would be a good fit for them. And then as you can see, it gives a GPA minimum. So for Riverside, for example, the business major example, you would need a 2.8 minimum UC GPA in order to be able to tag. And it says that you need to have your 30 units. They recommend IGETC for business administration, so make sure we plan your IGETC out. And then, as you could see, for English, they have the rules of when they want English 101 and 102 done. UCE means UC English, which is English 101. Let me see. So for Riverside, for example, it says that you need the first UCE, so English 101, done by the end of fall. And keep in mind, this is from last year, so by end of fall 2021, you need English 101 done. And then the end of spring, you need the second English course, which is English 102. And here it says that for all majors in the College of Engineering, Business, right here, business, you have to have all of your math for your major done by the end of fall 2021. So that's why you want to make sure that you see your counselor so we can make sure you have all the math required for your major by the end of fall so that way you can maintain your tag agreement. And it says that there's major prep for business admin, so you would want to make sure you see the counselor so we can look at that together. And then there's really good websites here. So it will show you all of the specific details on the website. And this is why we just really love working together with the students on the tag and looking at the matrix together and doing that further research, because it isn't just a really quick thing. It does require research and time and care so that we make sure that you pick the right campus to tag. Moving on to the dates and deadlines. So you want to make sure that you get started with taking a look at these deadlines. So when you can apply for admission for fall would be November 1st through 30th to the UCs. And when you can apply for spring admission would be July 1st through 31st. And then myth number 3 is that UCs don't have special majors that are common at Cal States. And my students tell me this all the time, and we want to say that that is false. UCs actually have many unique and career-oriented majors, and you would find a lot of great options. So demystifying those UC majors that we think don't exist, they actually do. And students can be under the impression that their major isn't available at a UC or not eligible for tag, but we can try to find something for every student, of course. So some examples of majors that students don't think would be available would be child development, administration of justice, kinesiology, business administration, and liberal studies. So some examples are our close by campuses. We have at UCR, Education Society and Human Development. This is a great one for my child development majors. There's also business administration at UCR and public policy at UCR and liberal studies. So my students who are interested in administration of justice, for example, we definitely take a look at that public policy major, and I've had students successfully be admitted. So there is definitely that option there for students. At UCI, they have criminology, law, and society, which is another great one for my students interested in administration of justice and criminology for the Cal States. UCI has a wonderful complementary major that would be a great option for you. UCI also has a Bachelor of Arts in Education Sciences, so that's another good one for my liberal studies, child development related majors. And then they also have exercise science BS, which is a lot of things that you would kind of want to expect from a kinesiology program too, and great for a student that is pre-physical therapy. You want to go for the doctorate degree of physical therapy someday, but it does require more science. But I have so many students that they are up for the challenge and they are ready to take on the additional science classes and get the opportunity to go to UCI and get an excellent education there too. So we just want to say, I think the main point is that don't be surprised if we can find you a great fit at a UC campus for a major very similar. Maybe the title is not the same as Cal State's, but that still actually has very similar outcome curriculum with a wonderful UC research element to it. Myth number 4 is that my major is extremely competitive at UC, so I don't think I would qualify. Now, my students tell me this all the time, and that's okay that you feel that way, but there are options for you. It's okay that your major is highly selective, or you feel that it might be too hard. There are still many opportunities for you to be able to go to UC. So major and campus. Not all campuses have the same amount of applications for specific majors. So what that means is, let's say my major is communication, right? Which actually was in college. Communication is selective at UC Santa Barbara, but it's not the case at all the UC campuses. So that's why you want to make sure that you don't just apply to one campus. You apply to more than one, because there is an excellent opportunity, even though it's selective, that you could very well be picked for UC Santa Barbara communication, right? But we also want to make sure that you know that that's not the only campus that you need to apply to. You can apply to more than one, and we actually encourage that. So for another example, mechanical engineering, the average GPA varies depending on the UC campus, and that's another thing. You don't necessarily have to only apply to one UC for the major, right? We want the students to apply for more than one campus, and it will help give you more options later on down the line. Now, another example I wanted to just share is UCLA, because they made this beautiful chart that just shows the opportunity students could have if they apply to alternate majors at UCLA. So these are their most selective majors that are they have very small percentage of admission rates. So that includes biochem, biology, business, communication, econ, human biology, microbiology, immunology, molecular genetics, political science, psychology, and sociology, right? And as you can see, there's nothing above 40% admission rate for any of these majors, and these are the most popular, right? But they say if you want to pick another major that has a higher acceptance rate, you could look at biophysics or applied math and applied science if you want to do biochem, and you can get a minor in public health. They have that. They have for biology, you can pick computational and systems biology or anthropology BS, which has a scientific element to it. And you can also get a minor in biomedical research. There's also business econ, which has a 12% admission rate, but do not feel that you can't apply to UCLA. You can apply for other majors, including applied math, Asian studies, and get a minor in entrepreneurship, just as with my examples, right? And if any of these majors are interesting to you as an alternative, don't think you have to apply to the corresponding major within these boxes. You could also explore these other opportunities as well. So that's why I like to have this discussion with our students to make sure that they have that, confidence that there are other opportunities for them too. And it's not necessarily the only chance that you have is if they have specifically your first choice major. And then I just wanted to share a fun fact that UCLA has. They say that 27% of college graduates are employed in fields related to their major. So what that means is that there is a large number of students that graduate and they are able to find excellent careers that have nothing to do with their major. So that's why we want to make sure that major does not translate directly into, oh, you can only do this job then. In fact, what matters most is your work ethic, your willingness to work hard and not give up, and your ability to be able to connect with others, to grow and continue learning and having a very good attitude. So that's something that we want to discuss, with you one-on-one too, if you feel like you have concerns or doubts. No, in fact, there are so many individuals that are very successful and their major is not exactly in line with the job field that they went into. So another example that I learned about during our Ensuring Transfer to Success conference that counselors went to this week is business administration and econ. So a lot of my students, they feel like, oh, not all the UCs have business administration. Sometimes they have business econ, and it's just not quite what I wanted. But they do give other options for students to apply to that are really excellent and give great opportunities for careers after graduation. So that includes communications, global studies, legal studies, and political science. So just some things that you can explore, and you'll be able to still find an excellent career for yourself after graduation. Now we're going to look at the transfer timeline. So as you can see, we want to make sure that you feel confident and supported with transfer all year long because we help students all year long with transfer. It's not just oh, we gave you the deadline, so see you later. No, absolutely not. We give students the deadlines ahead of time so that way they know when to start coming to see us so we can help them with all things related to their application, tag, and so on. So first and foremost, I want to share that in summer 2021, we will be having our TransferCon event. So make sure that you stay tuned and on the lookout because more details will come about TransferCon as it gets closer to summer. September 1st to 30th, 2021, you're going to be applying for UC Transfer Admission Guarantee, which we discussed in this video today, so you'll know when to apply. October 1st is the first day that you can apply for financial aid for the upcoming school year, so make sure you get that done. The sooner the better. It's due March 2nd, but you can start on October 1st. November 1st to 30th, you're going to be applying for UC admission. And then in January, you're going to log back into your application to do the transfer academic update. And you're going to include your fall 2021 grades and your winter, spring, and progress classes. In March to April, you'll receive your admission decisions from the UCs. In May, you're going to RSVP to the transfer recognition ceremony, which is our event that we have every year to celebrate your transfer success and honor you. In June 1st is the last day to submit your intent to register, which means that you're confirming admission to one UC campus. In July, you send official transcripts to the UC or the Cal State, whichever you choose, of course. And then in August 2022, you are transferred. So this is, a big year for our students. Every year it's a big special year, right? And that's why I want to give you the tools early on so that way you feel confident coming back to us and we have a strong relationship to continue supporting you throughout these big milestones in your transfer journey. And of course, preparing for UC at LAHC, LA Harbor College, with the Transfer Center. That's what we're here for, is to help you prepare. So make sure that you see a counselor at least by the end of spring 2021 to plan your classes, your transfer timeline, and transfer admission guarantee. It just kind of helps because if you need to have more units, then we can make sure that you add them over summer, right? If you need to have your GPA increase a little bit, we can check for academic renewal, course repetition for GPA adjustment. We can also see, okay, if you take a class over summer, it'll bring your GPA to from a 2.9 to a 3.0, right? Something like that. So we want to make sure that we meet and do that in-depth research together. The next thing would be to create a TAP account. So to get started on your UC journey, set up for TAG, make sure you do your TAP account because this will help you later on with your application because they'll load into your application in November for UC admission. And then there's UCLA CCCP. So we want to make sure that you feel encouraged to participate in our Center for Community College partnership with UCLA to attend related events and activities. So we'll link that down below along with the link to see a counselor for an appointment, create a TAP account, and then you'll be able to click on all of those links and join us. We can't wait to see you. And then of course, join our wonderful programs at Harbor College. So we have excellent equity programs that are meant to support you, and you can actually include them in your UC application for admission, and they do take that into consideration. So we have Puente, Umoja, APAS, Honors, STEM Step, Dreamers, Special Programs and Services, EOPS, Veterans, and more that all have a transfer focus and support for our students. And UCI, last but not least, is affordable. And this is something that we really want to hone in on. So there is this thing called the Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan, which provides system-wide tuition and fee waivers to our students. So that means your tuition and fees are completely covered with scholarship and grant money as long as your household income is less than $80,000 annually, which is really special because you would not believe how many of our students qualify for Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan. They meet the guidelines. This means that you could be watching this video and probably would qualify for free tuition from a UC. So it's something we're really excited to share, and I hope that it just further, shows that you can definitely afford to go to UC. Your bachelor's degree can be affordable, and students who receive the benefits of the Blue and Gold Plan will automatically be eligible if they apply for financial aid through FAFSA or DREAM Act by March 2nd. So that's why we want you to apply as early as October 1st for financial aid. You do need to be a California resident or have AB 540 status in order to qualify as well, and your household income needs to be at $80,000 or below. Additionally, you need to be in your first 2 years for transfer students at a UC in order to qualify, which of course you will be. And then you also need to make sure that you are enrolled at least half-time, during the academic year at the UC, not be in default on student loans, etc. But this actually is a wonderful opportunity for our students, and I am sure that so many of you watching do qualify. And then, of course, you're always welcome to direct your questions to us, and we are glad to answer them during an appointment. And like I said, we'll link the appointment information below. And we just want to let you know that you are so welcome to connect with us. If you download the Grad Guru app to your smartphone and select LA Harbor College as your campus, you will get notifications from us. We also have an Instagram. Please make sure you follow us. Our name is LAHC Transfer Center, and that is where you'll get all the workshops and transfer news. And then we have a phone number, which is 310-233-4282. You're welcome to give us a call if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time and watching this presentation. I hope you learned a lot of new information, and we hope to see you at our upcoming workshops, events, and to help you plan your transfer journey. Thank you.